in doing the research for my newest book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, I ran into the reality that over the last couple of thousand years, there have been thousands of failed medical theories. There have been so many medical theories. There are just so many of them are bizarre. Of course, going back thousands of years ago, medical doctors / philosophers thought that evil spirits were the cause of disease. And there was astrology, where there's little gods you had to appease up on the little mountains and up on planets all over the place and clouds and things, and you had to make everybody happy to be happy. And then there was spontaneous generation, where a doctor puts a chunk of meat out, and 3 or 4 days later it's full of maggots. Well, there you go. Where do those worms come from? Spontaneous generation. That's just how, like, disease starts. Well, they didn't take the time to sit and watch the flies lay eggs on the meat, and the eggs hatch into worms. Well, then there were the 4 humors. Let's see here. That's another big one, where you had 4 humors. You had blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm. And if any one of those were out of balance, or any 2 or 3 were out of balance, you got a disease. And their idea to solve the problem was bloodletting. Okay? And of course, it goes back to evil spirits and astrology and spontaneous generation, where you had to appease the evil spirits and the good spirits by burning goats as sacrifices and giving them bushels of grain and so forth. Then the saturated fats theory, that's relatively recent. Those actually, it turns out, that saturated fats really aren't bad. They're actually very good for you. And cholesterol is actually very good for you. It's the raw materials to make testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, adrenal hormones, and myelin, the insulation material in your brain. Let's see here. Since we've gotten off of saturated fats and onto the unsaturated fats, the oils that doctors love so much, we've developed Alzheimer's disease, low T, erectile dysfunction, menopausal symptoms, and adrenal exhaustion. That theory didn't work. And then salt. Oh, yeah. Back maybe 7,500 years ago, doctors said you can only eat a half a teaspoon of salt. We're talking about 1,500 milligrams of sodium a day, only a half a teaspoon of salt a day. Well, that wound up giving us reflux. Let's see here. We got B12 deficiency and all kinds of B12 dementia and so forth. And we got, we also got mineral deficiencies resulted in anemia, and we had osteoporosis and so forth, and all kinds of problems with allergies because we couldn't digest proteins down to amino acids. And now, today, CDC says, we made a mistake. Instead of a half a teaspoon of salt per day, you're supposed to have up to 6 teaspoons a day. Well, there you go. There's a difference. And then, back in the 1920s, after fighting people like Gregor Mendel, a priest, and Charles Darwin, a biologist, saying, they're all wrong, blah, 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 they came up in 1920 saying, genetics are it. Genetics are it, and we're going to find the genes for every disease, and we'll make the genetically engineered genes and replace the bad genes and eliminate disease. Well, March of 2013, March 22nd, 2013, the end of that came when James Watson, the guy who had proposed the double helix structure of DNA, said, all this genetic study has been irrelevant. It's really chemistry, biochemistry, nutrition. And let's see here. Then the genetic theory, of course, they wanted you to believe that everything, including cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy, were caused by genetics. Well, I've done more research on both of those than anybody else out there, I'm telling you. And the final piece of research, which really, really worked, was back in 1977, I discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, rhesus monkey, Yerkes Primate Center, Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. And they fired me when I said it wasn't genetic, it was simple mineral deficiency during pregnancy. And then, of course, I gave the information to Jerry Lewis on muscular dystrophy 5 years ago, and the muscular dystrophy founded fired him. They fired Jerry Lewis, raised $52 million to pad their pockets when they said, we have to find the cure. Well, I've already found the cure of muscular dystrophy. Did a study where I did 1,700 autopsies on kids under the age of 10 in Qishan, China, that had died of a known selenium deficiency, and 35% had cystic fibrosis, 100% had muscular dystrophy. Sent all that stuff to the CF Foundation, Muscular Dystrophy Foundation. They didn't even respond. And then when the book Epigenetics came out a couple of months ago, I sent them a copy of the book with another copy of that article on the finding of cystic fibrosis and muscular dystrophy and Qishan disease. Didn't respond. And so, what can I say? I want everybody to stop donating to these places, Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, Muscular Dystrophy Foundation. Get the book Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, and begin to learn how to take care of yourself We can prevent every birth defect. There's not one single birth defect that is caused by genetics. It's all nutritional deficiencies of the embryo, and the evidence is in the book Epigenetics. Believe me, you can save your family. There's nothing worse than having a baby born unnecessarily with a birth defect, heart defects, muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis, cleft palate, spina bifida, Down syndrome, things like cerebral palsy, behavioral problems of all kinds. And let's see here. Just about every birth defect you can think of, and 10 times that many you can't, are caused by nutritional deficiencies of the embryo, not genetics. So it's going to be worth your while. Every family, for every couple who's in the childbearing years and every couple who's a grandparent or great-grandparent needs to get these books, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, get a hold of the book, Rare Earths, Forbidden Cures, and get a hold of the book, Immortality, and save your families. Save your families. If you save your families, you're going to save America. How good is that? You're going to get a twofer. Well, we'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us?
Well, this is a Fox News story I found that is about a new type of surgery that they've come up with, and this is a new type of ankle replacement surgery. They say a severe arthritis of the ankle joint and other joints is the result of progressive wearing down of the layer of articular cartilage that cushions the joint's moving surfaces, ultimately resulting in bone-on-bone grinding with joint motion. This, quote, end-stage arthritis results in pain combined with loss of function and mobility, severely limiting normal activity when this end stage is reached, and non-operative options such as medication, injections, and bracing have been exhausted. A total ankle replacement may provide relief, or the TAR as they call it. Success of a total ankle replacement has evolved over many years as an alternative to ankle fusion, which locks the joint in a fixed position and does not permit ankle motion. Ankle replacement replaces the arthritic surfaces with metal and low friction plastic implants, and the primary benefit is pain relief. And they go on to say that without health insurance, an ankle replacement typically would cost about $40,000 or more. For example, a major joint replacement for a lower extremity could cost about $29,643, not including the surgeon fee, according to Baptist Memorial Healthcare in Memphis. And the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Transparency Initiative shows that surgeon fees for joint replacements can reach $5,000 or more, and the medical information company Pearl Diver estimates the average total cost at about $43,000, according to Dr. Leonard R. Janis. He is a podiatric surgeon. Says ankle replacement surgery typically is covered by insurance according to whatever company you have. But it says, for example, Cigna considers it an experimental procedure, and Primera Blue Cross considers it medically necessary only for patients who fit specific criteria. So once again, you're coming up with another way to try to generate income by wanting to replace every joint in your body. Now they're wanting to replace your ankles. I can't believe it, Doc.
Well, sure, that was predictable. They've gone through knee replacements, hip replacements. They fuse your vertebrae and take your disc out. They inject plastic to replace degenerative discs. They'll put joints in your fingers, put joints in your shoulders. And, of course, it is very critical where they said the whole purpose of this joint replacement is for pain relief. That is absolutely true. We'll give you temporarily pain relief, but over time, whether it's a couple of months or a year or so, that bone continues to deteriorate above and below that joint replacement, and so pain begins to show up again. And then they say, well, we got to replace it, and so on. And basically, I always say, give us 90 days. When you have any kind of joint problem, you have bone-to-bone arthritis, it doesn't matter if it's in your fingers, your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your ankles. It doesn't matter if it's in your toes or your neck or your back. In fact, Harvard Medical School did a study. They looked at 300,000 records where people had had joints replaced, knees and hips and shoulders, and they came out and said joint replacements for arthritis is worthless. This came out in July of 2002, and of course, they'll keep offering these things as long as people keep opting to participate. And as long as insurance is paying, people will participate. They say, well, why would I want to spend $3 a day for a supplement program and fix every joint in my body when I can just pay a $50 one-time fee for my insurance, okay, deductible, and the insurance will pay my $40,000 for an ankle replacement. It'll fix me. Yeah, right. It'll fix your wallet, because then you're on that slippery slope of razor blades. Yeah, just ask Joan Rivers how those new procedures work for her. Oh, thank you, Doug. That's a good one. Okay, well, we'll be back with more Truth, Justice, and the Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Hawaii. And Don, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Don. You're on the air. Hello, Don.
Going once, going twice. Let's head on to Illinois. And Brenda. Brenda, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Brenda, you're on the air. Hi, how can we help you?
Wallach. Yes, I'm calling for a friend that is a dialysis patient, and she had acid reflux really bad. She ended up in the hospital with a closed esophagus. Tubing and everything was applied. And she came home. She can't even eat anything. She's on liquids. Even when she drinks the liquids, she throw up. Her nutritional level is low. She's losing weight. And she asked me to call to see what would you recommend.
Okay, first of all, what does she weigh?
She weighs 130 pounds.
Okay, do you know if she has diabetes?
She has diabetes type 2.
Okay. All right. Do you know if she has any other issues I need to know about? High blood pressure, skin problems?
She has high blood pressure. She recently had all her teeth extracted for a transplant. And now the dental work, her teeth that they made don't fit. She has a lot of situations. She can't even afford to fit.
That dentist should be put in jail with all her things going on. She's probably the worst possible candidate for having all her teeth pulled and given implants. Okay, she's not a candidate for that kind of stuff. She won't tolerate it well. She has going to be changes going on. This is not something and highly invasive. You don't want to be going there. She's already has big trouble. Okay. At any rate, we got what we got here. 130 pounds. Wanted to get off all the bad stuff, and that'll be easy now since she's not eating real well. But everybody in the household, including the dog and the cat and the bird and the fish and man and woman and mother-in-law and kids and so forth, they're going to have to be gluten-free. Absolutely no wheat, barley, rye, or oats. Absolutely no gluten. Absolutely no fried foods. Absolutely no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites. No oils. There's no olive oil, coconut oil, margarine, mayonnaise, salad dressing, cooking oils. If she's canned fish, it's got to be packed with water, mustard, tomato sauce, not oil. Well, hang on. Get your pen and paper ready. I'm going to come back and show you how to deal with the dialysis, diabetes, high blood pressure, reflux, etc. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go back to Illinois and Brenda. Okay, your friend, I would make sure we've already gone through all the bad things that are done. She's got to get rid of. And we're going to kind of do things here that'll do multiple tasks, so we'll keep the cost down for her. But she's got several life-threatening diseases here. And so we need to get her on a little heavier hammer than just a healthy start pack, which is sort of, if you don't have any health problems, you take that to prevent things. So I'd want her to take 2 healthy blood sugar packs per month. That's going to give her, that's going to give her 1 ounce of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner, and then I wanted to have the Ultimate Daily Tablets. I wanted to get 1 bottle a month, start with 1 bottle a month. I wanted to have 3 twice a day, and that's designed to support and promote healthy blood pressure. It's designed to support and promote healthy blood flow through obstructed arteries, and this can be positive to the fact that she has high blood pressure, and also because she's on dialysis. Most of the time, when a person's on dialysis, they're told they have kidney failure, but again, most of the time, nothing wrong with their kidneys. They really have vascular obstruction, and the Ultimate Daily Tablets are designed to support healthy blood flow through obstructed arteries, whether it's a coronary artery, brain artery, eye artery, leg arteries, but also the arteries in your kidneys, which will get dirty blood into the filtering units. Reflux, I wanted to take our Ultimate Enzymes, take 1 before each meal, say 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes before each meal, a couple ounces of water. I would also have her take our Ancient Legacy peppermint oil, put 4 drops in an 8-ounce cup of warm water, and she can start drinking that maybe a minute or 2 before each meal when she's taking the Ultimate Enzymes. and throughout the meal, and then whatever's left over she would drink at the end of the meal. That's going to get rid of the gas, is going to help support healthy gastrointestinal function, and the diabetes, of course, can be dealt with the 3 of the sweeties twice a day. When you get the 2 healthy blood sugar packs, be the sweeties, and that's also going to give her the 3 sweeties twice a day. It goes on with a healthy blood sugar pack. Now, let's see, we've covered just about everything there. And so, again, the reflux, and her appetite's bad. She's only eating liquids, and she's still having problems with that. What I would do is get our Slender FX weight management system meal replacer. There's only 110 calories per meal if you make it with water. There's certainly no sugar in it, so good for diabetics. But what I would do, when you make, I would give her 2 or 3 of these a day, and I would make it with, put 2 to 4 eggs in each one, make it with heavy whipping cream, put 8 ounces of heavy whipping cream in there instead of 8 ounces of water, and whip that up really good. You can throw in some blueberries if you want, or use our Z-Radical liquid. And what you do is freeze it and make an ice cream out of it. And people who don't feel good, can't eat solid food, like to nibble on ice cream over a period of a half hour or so, and give her at least 2 servings, maybe even 3 servings a day of this homemade ice cream with the supplements in it. Okay? What a concept. Call me every 2 weeks. I want to know her blood pressure, I want to know her weight, I want to know her blood sugar, and how the reflux is going. We'll be back after these messages.
Let's head to Washington State, and Cindy, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
So, Cindy, you're on the air. Hi.
Yes. My nephew has a 4-month-old baby, and he is...
I'm sorry, I missed that. I'm sorry. You have to tell me again what he has?
He's anemic, and he has some blood in his stool.
Okay.
And they say he's lactose intolerant, so they put him on an Infamil formula called Nutritional. And he's just having problems. They're going to do some biopsies on his esophagus, colon, and intestines to try and figure out what's going on.
How old is this nephew?
He's 4 months old. And one more thing, his mom and dad are both type 2 diabetic. Mom is insulin, and the dad is pills and diet control.
Okay, well, first of all, type 2 diabetes is not genetic. If it was, he'd be a classic case of having type 2 diabetes. Now, I believe that his mom, and maybe his dad, but certainly his mom, has a gluten intolerance, and they both need to be on the healthy blood sugar pack appropriate for their body weight. If they're type 2 diabetics, they should be able to support and promote healthy blood sugar levels and support and promote healthy metabolism of sugar, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins at the cellular level within weeks. Okay, so that's going to make their life easier. The whole idea for them is to wean them off of the medication, whether it's pills or injectable insulin, and they can do that, but they're going to have to get on a diet that's no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, and no gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, and no sugar since they're diabetics. I'd keep the carbohydrates down, eat lots of vegetables and eggs and meat and so on. Well, this nephew, what does he weigh? Only 4 months old. What does he weigh?
14 pounds, 14 ounces.
Okay, now, is he being breastfed?
Well, he was until they said that he was lactose intolerant, and they have him on the Infamil now.
Okay, they got him on the Infamil formula. Okay, what I would add to that is the minerals. I'd give him the cherry mints, since you didn't say he had diabetes. I'd give him the cherry mints. I'd give him a half a teaspoon twice a day of the cherry mints. It has 77 minerals in it. I would also give him what we call Tropical Plus, which is a multivitamin mineral product, has amino acids in it. Again, I give him half a teaspoon twice a day. It's a teaspoon for 20 pounds, so at 15 pounds, I give him a half a teaspoon twice a day of each. And then I would also give him the EFA pluses, or the EFAs. I give them 2 a day. You're going to have to puncture the capsules, either squirt them in these liquid supplements, or put them in a little bit of applesauce and give him kind of thing, depending on how much solid food he's eating. This is going to help immensely with his immune system and so forth. Now, he'll have to be on enzymes forever, because lactose intolerance is a inborn error metabolism. Mommy was missing something when that part of his biochemical system was forming, and so he doesn't have the capacity to make the lactase enzyme, which is abnormal, but is not genetic. Okay, but he will have to take enzymes forever because there's milk and dairy products in everything. Okay, so there's access to blood sugar and everything. But he should do well, but he needs to have all 90 essential nutrients, and of course that includes the omega-3s, the 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, and 12 essential amino acids. Now, it'll help a lot, again, to eliminate all of that source of dairy, and just watch it, because these artificial meals have a lot I haven't read the formulation of that product, and so I'll have to look that up, but they oftentimes have so much oil in them, that's very dangerous, okay? And so I'd like to see him eating, at 4 months old, he can start eating a little bit of solid food, a little bit of applesauce, a little bit of scrambled eggs with a little bit of butter and cinnamon in it. That'll help him many, many ways. You can also make an ice cream out of our Slender Effects Weight Management System meal replacer. Make it with heavy whipping cream and put some eggs in there. That'll help him with a high-quality meal without the risk of all those oils and fats. And then give us a call every couple of weeks. This will be a great start for him. And give us a call every couple of weeks and let us know how it's going, okay? Okay, let's see here. Doug, we have time to do another one.
We sure do. Let's head to Capitola, California. And Kat, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello,
Hi,
Kat,
Dr.
you're on the air.
Wallach. I'm a longtime associate, and thank you for all you do.
You're welcome.
I'm 5'7", 120 pounds, have hyperthyroidism, all ramped up, bilateral hip replacement, unfortunately, 7 years ago. I've got my type 2 diabetes under control with Sweeties, and I suffer from Charcot-Marie tooth disease, which is a peripheral neuropathy with muscle spasms.
Yeah, drop with peripheral neuropathy. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say that's all, but that's enough. So what do I need from your protocol? I don't think I'm taking enough. I'm on BTT.
Okay, wait. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm on BTT, OsteoFX, Glucogel, Sweeties, and Ocean's Gold.
Okay, well, even though you weigh 120 pounds, I would have you take 15 glucogel a day, because we got to support and promote maintenance repair of the disc between your vertebrae. So I'd take 15 glucogel. That'll be 2 large bottles of glucogel per month, so 5 at breakfast, 5 at lunch, 5 at dinner. Get an extra bottle of our osteo, so you can take 2 ounces of that a day. Everything else you can take 1 serving or a half a serving twice a day. And then for the thyroid, I would take 3 of the Ocean's Gold twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And for the type 2 diabetes, I would get the Sweeties, as you say, take 3 of those twice a day, and that'll be 2 bottles a month. Now, what is your blood sugar running?
It runs 110.
Okay, so on the average 110?
Mm-hmm.
Does it ever spike up to 140, 160, 180, anything like that?
Never. And I have low blood pressure. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Well, the extra eggs are going to help you, because the more blood protein you have, the better off your blood pressure is. It'll be up in the normal range. And then, let's see here. What I also do is make sure that you use our Nature's, or not Nature's, that's the old brand, the Slender Effects Weight Management System shake. We already talked about that. Make it with heavy whipping cream. Throw several eggs in there. And be sure that you use at least 1 serving a day, better 2. And before bedtime, I would do a serving of that. I'd like to see your blood sugar in the 70s and 80s, and I think you need to make sure you're taking 3 of those Sweeties twice a day. If that doesn't work within a couple of weeks, that means you're not absorbing it. You really need to look around the house and find out how much of the gluten you have around. So dry dog food, dry cat food, bird food, fish food. You can't have a mother-in-law or spouse or kids who are bringing that home, a gluten dust all over their clothes, and then you wash your clothes with their clothes. You sit on the same couch watching TV. They're in the bed, the food preparation surfaces. And so you're going to have to maximize your absorption of all this stuff to get the benefit from it. That old adage that you are what you eat is absolutely positively not true. You're not what you eat. You are really what you absorb. So give us a call in a couple of weeks. I want to know all your levels of everything, right? Blood sugar levels. Let me know if you do any thyroid tests. Let me know those. I want to know your blood pressure, weight, etc. We'll be back after these messages. We're back. back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Longevity and 95 Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to the Virgin Islands. And Ruben, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Ruben. You're on the air.
Yes, Dr. Wallach, I have a
Yes,
challenge with potassium.
Are you on dialysis?
Dialysis, yes. And the dialysis is doing fine so far. But my potassium level is high. It's 6.6 right now. And they told me anytime at all it gets over 7, that I can get a heart attack at home and die, of course.
How much you weigh?
Foods, I realized that the OsteoFX has potassium, and I believe the what you call it, the tangerine, tangerine, and I was also taking the sea moss, the one with this brown sea moss. I was taking that, but they said it has a lot of foods in there. I'm not supposed to use foods as well. So it's given me a challenge. How can you help me on that?
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. How much do you weigh?
145.
Now, do you have diabetes also?
Yes, diabetes, blood pressure.
Okay. Have you been using the product for, how long have you been using the product?
The end of June. The last week in June.
Okay, so about 5 weeks maybe. And have you noticed a drop in your blood pressure?
Yes, yes, when I go on dialysis, it drops very low.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're taking the supplements,
it's dropped.
It's made it drop more, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, how many times a week are you getting dialysis?
3 times a week.
Yeah. Well, they may try just doing it twice a week. Okay. They're going to have to come to grips with the goal here is to get you off of dialysis. Okay. And so, if your blood pressure is dropping, you might want to reduce your dialysis by 1. Just go to twice a week and see how that works for you. Also, the high blood pressure, are you taking the Ultimate Daily tablets?
Yes.
How many Ultimate Daily are you taking?
3 times a day.
Okay, three times a day. Okay, good. All right. And that's going to support and promote healthy blood pressure. That's going to support and promote healthy blood flow in obstructed arteries. And it's a great supplement. Also has some of the secret sauce in it that is going to support and promote healthy blood sugar levels. Now, what I would do is make sure you're dividing up your doses of all your supplements. Don't take them all at once. You want to take them with meals, and you want to divide whatever the calculated dose is at minimum in half. If you're taking something 3 times a day, I would certainly take it 3 times a day. Don't try, I'm just going to slam it down so I don't have to deal with it because I'm going to have to leave the house this afternoon. And so you still want to supplement properly, but you want to spread things out. At least 2 doses a day rather than all in one big dose. If you can, if it's not inconvenient, make 3 doses a day, but make sure you take all this stuff with food. And salads, everything, any green leafy vegetable is full of potassium, okay? And so it's almost impossible to get potassium out of your diet. And, I like potassium between 5 and 9. Nothing wrong with that. And so basically what you want to do is just pay attention to all the bad stuff. No fried foods, and no exception. I don't care if you're stir-frying an extra virgin olive oil. You're stir-frying organic vegetables. You can't do that. No frying. And then no processed meats. It means absolutely no deli slices, no sandwich meats, no sausage, ham, bacon, bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, jerky. You can have a baked pork chop if that's of interest to you, but you can't have bacon, okay? You can have sliced roast beef, but you can't have a meatloaf or meatballs because they have gluten in them. You got to pay attention to the details. Well, call me every couple of weeks if you would, please, Ruben, and let us know what's going on. Well, thank you, Doug and Richard. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.